So, were you afraid to make lasagna before? Well, after this video, you won't be. Hello and welcome to the Mind of Sunnyvale. I am Wanda, aka Sunnyvale. And if you are new to the channel, hello and welcome. Thanks for stopping by and watching the video. And nice to talk to you virtually. I hope you come back to watch some more. If you are a returning viewer, hello and welcome back. I hope you find this video as helpful as you found the ones before. But before we get started, just want to remind you, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you will know when I am releasing a new video. Also, don't forget to leave your comments. I'd love to get comments, and maybe you'll help me or someone else who's watching the video. So today we are going to be making lasagna together, but I have two disclaimers I have to say before I start cooking. Number one, I do not claim and have never claimed to be an authentic Italian chef. Yes, I know there are other ways to make lasagna, and some people do the full recipe from scratch and make your own sauce, and that's all well and good. But that's not the recipe I'm sharing with you today. So take it if you enjoy it. Great. My family and everyone I've prepared it for has enjoyed it. But if it's not to your speed, that's okay. There's room for lots of chefs in the kitchen. My second disclaimer is brands. I'm not recommending any particular brand of product that I'm using today. I use different brands depending on what's available in the store or what I already have at home. Yes, sometimes I have a brand preference, but I'm not going to recommend one over the other because everyone's taste is a little different, and you might like this sauce better than that one because of your family or your friends or your own taste buds. That's fine. So I'm not going to recommend a certain product, and I am not an authentic Italian chef. I'm so sorry to disappoint, but I think you'll still love the recipe. So let's start looking at our ingredients. First, we will need a 13 by 9 inch pan. I'm using a disposable one that I had left over from Thanksgiving, but I also use glass ones. You use whatever you have. You will need a mixing bowl. I use my trusty glass one, but use whatever you have in your kitchen. Of course, I have my trusty silicone spatulas and wooden spoon, but you can use whatever you normally use to mix, stir, or spread ingredients. For ingredients, I have one 9-ounce box of oven-ready lasagna. You may also see it listed as no-boil lasagna sheets in your local store. You will need 4 cups of mozzarella cheese. At this point, you can also add parmesan or fontina or any other cheese, but I only had mozzarella at home. You will need 1 pound of ground beef. I'm using 80-20 because I don't need the meat to be very lean, but you can decide what to use for yourself. Next are 2 large eggs. I've already cracked mine and they're ready to go. Next is 1 15-ounce container of ricotta cheese. I usually opt for part skim, but you can use whole milk ricotta if you like. For seasoning, I have 1 teaspoon of salt, ½ teaspoon fresh cracked pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of dry oregano that I add to the ground beef. I also add 1 teaspoon of basil paste to the cheese mixture, but it's optional. And how could I forget 48 ounces of your favorite pasta sauce? I've used many different brands and it was good every time, so use what you like. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Now to make the cheese mixture. Lightly beat the 2 eggs in the mixing bowl. Just lightly mix them to break them up. Don't overmix. Then mix in the ricotta cheese into the bowl, little splash, and mix in the mozzarella cheese and any other cheese you plan on adding at this point. Remember to mix it very well. Stir in the basil paste. It's optional, but I like the flavor it adds to the lasagna. For the ground beef, I add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil to the pan and turn on medium heat. I add the ground beef to the pan while breaking it up with the wooden spoon. I season with black pepper, salt, and oregano. I brown the ground beef until there is no more pink. I move it around the pan just to check for pink spots. Then, my quick way to drain ground beef is to place a colander over a small bowl and pour the meat into the colander. Easy peasy. Now to assemble. First, spread 1 cup of sauce on the bottom of the pan from corner to corner. Then I layer 4 lasagna sheets on top of the sauce. I also dip the edge in the sauce before placing because they will be overlapping. Next, spread 1/3 of the cheese mixture onto the pasta sheets. I just eyeball 1/3, but you can always measure it. Remember to spread it gently so that you don't break your pasta or move the sheets around. Next, layer 1/2 of the browned meat, spreading it around, followed by 1 cup of mozzarella cheese and then 1 cup of sauce. As you can see, I went out of order, but this recipe is very forgiving, so I just added more sauce. Now, back on track. Layer 4 more pasta sheets. I like to alternate starting sides, but that's just my preference. It's not a requirement. Press down gently. Spread out the second third portion of the cheese mixture. Add 1 1/2 cup of sauce. Layer 4 more pasta sheets. Add the remaining cheese mixture. and then the remaining meat, followed by 1 more cup of sauce. Top with the last 4 pasta sheets and gently press down. You don't want to squeeze the filling out. You just want it to be level. Finally, add 1 cup of sauce and cover with the last cup of mozzarella cheese. Cover with aluminum foil so that the cheese will not burn. I usually spray the piece of foil with nonstick spray first so that it doesn't stick to the cheese. I place the pan on the bottom rack. I also put my pan on a cookie sheet so that it's easier to take it in and out of the oven. Since I rotated halfway through cooking, I set the timer for 25 minutes. After 25 minutes, I come back, rotate the pan, and set for another 25 minutes. After the timer goes off the second time, I remove the foil to let the cheese melt for no more than 5 minutes. No, I didn't show you this part, but I'm telling you. Now it's cooked and looks delicious. It needs to stand for 15 minutes before cutting. After 15 minutes, I cut my lasagna into squares. If I still have leftovers on day 2, then you know I'm going to vacuum seal and freeze for another day. Very cheesy and very good. Now, wasn't that simple? I told you, you would be able to make lasagna after watching this video. Of course, I love this recipe because it's so versatile. You can choose to add more cheese, less cheese, more sauce, less sauce, depending on how you want to make it. I wouldn't decrease the sauce too much because the sauce does help when you have the foil on top to kind of create some steam, and it helps to cook and soften the noodles. So I wouldn't cut back on too much of the sauce. It does help to finish cooking the noodles. But it's very versatile. I add oregano and basil, but that was my choice. If you prefer other Italian spices or Italian seasoning, that's your choice as well. Sometimes I even add fresh garlic. If you wanted to add onions or vegetables to your mixture, it's all up to you. I think that would be a great choice. To make this meal complete, we usually add like a side salad or some roasted vegetables. And of course, we always have some sort of breadstick or garlic knots or something like that to finish off this meal. So I think that you can now make what I just made with these easy steps. Don't forget to check the description box where I will give you the complete recipe written out. So, what do you think? Are you going to try to make lasagna sometime this week? I hope you get around to making it. This has been Wanda from the Mind of Sunnyvale. I enjoy talking with you virtually and sharing this awesome recipe. And if you haven't already, remember, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And as always, leave me your comments. And if you make this recipe yourself, please let me know. How did it turn out for you? Did you enjoy it? Was it as easy as I said? Let me know in the comments. I hope to see you the next time, but that is all for now. Goodbye.